Good morning, everyone. Today, we will be starting with the digital FIR filter designing and how we can go for the designing of the different types of filters. Okay. So in our last class, we have seen that there are four type of filter: type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 4. Um, In our theory course, we will mainly restricting ourselves towards type 1 filter and type 2 filter. Okay, so this is because most of the filters what we use they are either of type 1 or type 2 filters. Talking about the type 3 and type 4 filters, there is a there are two types of filters: Hilbert transformer and wideband differentiator. So these two filters they are designed in either as type 3 or type 4. Okay, but we will not cover those in our syllabus. Otherwise, we cannot cover many of the things in the syllabus. So we will be restricting ourselves to type 1 and type 2 filters. Okay. Now, when we talk about the designing methods, there are four types of designing methods. Fourier series method without window, Fourier series method using window, Fourier transform method using window, and Fourier transform method without using a window, third one, and fourth one is Fourier transform method using window. Okay. So most of the designing methods what we'll be discussing, they will be from the digital signal processing by B.S. Nair. Okay. So this books gives you a step-by-step approach how we can design filters, different filters. Okay. So we'll be mainly concentrating using this type, this uh, from the what do you call from the discussions which will be restricted from this book, Digital Signal Processing by B.S. Nair. Now, before we go into the designing of the FIR filters or IIR filters, we need to understand the frequency responses of the digital filter. Okay, let's first take of the low pass filter. It is the most simplest filter which we can design. Okay, now if you see initially in the first part, I have talked about this analog low pass filter. In the analog low pass filter, we have a cutoff frequency omega c. Okay, and this is an ideal filter I am talking about. So if you see in from 0 to omega c, the frequency of the signals are passed, whereas the frequencies greater than omega c they are rejected. Okay. Now, when we come to the digital filter, what happens is that if you remember the Z plane, we are restricted in the plane of 0 to 2 pi. Okay. So, just like the analog filters, we have the digital filter in the digital domain also. We have frequency components which varies from 0 to omega c. Okay. However, if you look into the Z plane, what happens over here? What is happening? Suppose for designing a low pass filter, I place a pole at the real axis, then I will get the effect of this pole not only in the 0 to some omega c frequency, but also on, up to a point in the negative side in the clockwise direction up to say minus of omega c. Okay, so you can see what is happening over here. The thing is that this pole, it is having effect both in the positive domain and the negative domain. However, when we have discussed this what do you call, the low pass components in the analog domain and the digital domain, what we have done, we have restricted ourselves to 0 to omega c. But what happens to 2 pi to 2 pi minus omega c? We have not given anything, right? Now, if you see, if I place a pole at the real axis, it is having a similar effect on the uh, frequency components, which varies from 2 pi to 2 pi minus omega c. So, if you see over here, I have drawn another band 2 pi minus omega c to 2 pi, where the low pass filters are being um, components are being passed. Okay. Now, if you see over here, we have drawn the frequency axis from 0 to 2 pi. Okay. However, we can also write, or we can change the limit from minus pi to pi. Where is minus pi? Minus pi is here. 0 is here. So as we go in the negative domain, at this point, at z equals to 1, we have frequency components pi and minus pi both, right? So we can, what we can do, we can rearrange this 0 to 2 pi limit to minus of pi, 2 pi. Okay, so when we do this, what we are getting, if you see, from minus pi to minus of omega c, 2 pi minus omega c, so 2 pi is 0, so we can write down as omega c, minus of omega c to omega c will be having the effect of the pole, and it is allowing the frequencies to pass through, and then from omega c to pi we are having again 0 frequency components, right? So we can represent the digital domain low pass filter in this fashion also. Okay, right? Now, while designing the filters, digital filters, we will be considering this minus pi to pi limit for the implementation of the filter, because for the calculation purposes it makes our life easier. Okay, so anyone who has any doubt over the understanding of this frequency response of the low pass filter in the digital domain, because as we go towards the high pass, band pass and band reject filters, we'll be having we'll be carrying on this understanding, and we will be analyzing those things. Okay, so anyone who is having any problem with this one? No one?
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Hello,
yeah.
sir. The second figure in digital domain, sir. Can you please repeat once more? Minus omega c to omega c. That one. Second figure.
This one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what is happening? See, if you look into the z plane, we can start with 0 and we can end at 2 pi. right? So what is the range? The range is 2 pi. Okay. Now can we write down, say this is 0. So if I go in clockwise direction, if you go in anti-clockwise direction, we go from 0 to pi, right? However, if we go in the clockwise direction and if we reach at this location at z equals to 1, can we write down as minus of pi?
Yes, sir.
Right? We can write down as minus of pi. So if you look into this region, minus of pi to pi, what is the range of the frequency? It is also 2 pi. Why? Minus pi to 0 is pi, then 0 to pi is another pi. So 2 pi, you are getting 2 pi, right? So what we have done, if you see, we have fixed our range from minus pi to pi, right? Now, if you come
Yes, sir.
from minus pi, suppose I consider this as 2 pi minus omega c, okay? But 2 pi is 0 basically. So we will be having minus of omega c. This point, the effect of pole exists up to this minus of omega c, and in the positive domain it is up to omega c. Now if you open
Yes,
this circle into a linear string, so this is minus of pi. I have just say suppose when we are drawing the circle, this minus pi and pi, sorry, we have tied this pi and minus pi points at one at a same place. Now if I just untie it and put it in the linear fashion, okay, so what will happen? As I go from minus pi, I will not have any effect, okay, until I reach this minus of omega c, okay, then I will be crossing 0, then I will be crossing up to omega c, right? Over there my signals, they are passing, and then up to pi there is no effect of this pole, right? Are you able to understand? Now this is the region minus
yes, sir.
omega c to omega where my pole, it is having its effect, right? Am I clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? No. Okay, good. So in the next stage, so we can see what it is happening in the 0 to 2 pi. Our frequency components, they are repeating itself, right? So when we try to create the frequency domains of the filters, or frequency domain response of the filters in the minus pi to pi region, if you see 0 to omega c, whatever I am getting, in 0 to minus omega c, I am getting the mirror image. Okay, so this is the another advantage of plotting the frequency response in minus pi to pi region. Okay, so you will be having the mirror image, and it becomes easier for us to analyze the filter response. Okay, Next, some of you may ask, sir, why we are not going beyond beyond this minus pi to pi range? The simple reason is that we have previously discussed, as we move from 0 to pi and then pi to 2 pi, if we again start moving towards the higher frequencies, what will happen? We'll be having a mapping condition where multiple frequencies in the analog domain will be mapped to a single frequency. Okay, so then there will be a confusion. Okay, say for example, in your class there are 15 students, and say if I rank the students like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on, and I then map these students 1 and 4 students to one point, say A, and again say 2 and 5 at B, it will become very uncomfortable. Okay, I cannot group the first boy with the fourth boy or the second boy with the fifth boy. If I am grouping them together, I may be doing injustice to the person who is at a better rank, right? Like 1 and 2. So the same thing happens over here also. We do not want many to one mapping, and from our analysis or from our understanding, we saw that when we are working in the region of 0 to 2 pi, we are basically working in the range of 0 to sampling region, and where in any signal the sampling frequency is the highest frequency. Okay, and by the virtue of the Nyquist rate, we can analyze the frequencies 0 to FM, where Fs is greater than equal to 2 of Fm. Okay, right? So this is the criteria. Okay, so if we meet this criteria, we are good. We will not be having this many to one frequency mapping. Okay, and we can save ourselves from the hardship. Now, in the similar logic, if we go to the high pass filter, in the high pass filter, what we have in the analog domain, we have at omega c there is a cutoff, and higher than omega c we will be having all the frequency components which will be passed through. Okay, now let me draw so now let us talk about the pole which is present near to the pi. Okay, so we have seen previously, when we place a pole near to the pi, here we are having the FM frequency, that means the maximum frequency, and it will allow the higher frequencies to pass through, right? Now just like in the low pass filter, this pole will be having an effect over here. So we will be having omega c as the cutoff and minus omega c as the cutoff in the lower half, right? So but what we are doing, we are going from pi to 0 and 0 to again pi. Not pi to 0, minus pi to 0 and then 0 to pi. So if you see, when I start with minus pi, I am having the effect of the pole and it continues up to Fc, right? So if you see over here, I am having high value at minus of pi, and this high value continues up to minus of omega c, and then from minus of omega c, as I continue on the unit circle, I come up to omega c, up to where there is no frequency component or the pole is having no effect on those frequency component. So in those areas I am having the low frequency or a low response. So that means we are having a zero response until we reach omega c, and as we reach omega c, from there to pi we have a high value. Okay, so a high pass filter, the high pass filter in the digital domain, it is having a frequency response something like this. Okay, so if you see, if this is the original response, because we are interested in 0 to pi region mainly, when we plot it, minus pi to pi, we have a mirror response in the negative domain also. Okay, right? Just like over here, if you look in the low pass filter, if you look into 0 to omega c, we are having the response of the low pass filter, but when we are discussing about the digital filter, it is having a mirror effect in the region of minus omega c to 0. Similarly over here, if you look into the high pass filter of the digital domain, we are having an omega c and which extends up to pi. However, in the negative domain, from minus pi to minus omega c, we are having a high response. Okay, so you just compare the results of the analog frequency, analog filter and the digital filters. Analog filters, you only consider the frequency regions from 0 to infinity. However, in the digital domain, we have a mirror response also in the negative domain, in the negative frequency domain. Okay, any doubt until here? No? Good. Now, our next thing is the band reject filter. So band reject filter, it is basically a combination of a low pass filter and a high pass filter. In the analog domain, if you see, we are having low pass filter. Sorry, this is not this omega, this will be this omega. Okay, so 0 to omega c1, we have one cutoff. From then omega c1 to omega c2, we have zero components. So the frequency components in this region will be suppressed, and then from omega c2 to higher omega, we will be having the frequency components which will be passed through. Okay, now let us take the digital filter response in the 0 to pi region. So 0 to omega c1, then omega c1 to omega c2, we have a zero response. Then omega c2 to pi, we again have a high response, right? Now, as we have discussed, we have to mirror this response in the negative domain. So because of that, we get these two responses, minus pi to minus of omega c2 and minus of omega c1 to 0. Okay, so this is the response of the band reject filter for the digital filters. Okay, am I clear? Any problem over here?
sir, explain
No,
in the
sir.
jet unit circle. How
Uh-huh.
is how is it coming like that? Please draw the unit circle and explain.
So, did you understand this low pass filter and high pass filter?
Yes, yes, yes.
So, it's similar to that. It is just a combination of this one. Okay. Say, for example, you have a pole here and you have a pole here. Say, for example. Okay. This pole will be effective over here. This pole will be effective over here. So, uh, this is omega C1, omega C2 minus omega C2 minus omega C1. Okay. You start with pi, minus of pi to minus of omega C2. You're having a high response. Then you have a 0 region. Then minus of omega C1 to 0 you have a high. Then again 0 to omega C1 is high. So it will be a continuous one. And then from omega C1 to omega C2 it will be 0. And then omega C2 to pi it is again having a high response. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
Now, when we talk about this band pass filter, it is just the opposite. Okay. So we have omega C1 to omega C2. There are some frequencies. Okay. Now, if you plot over here 0 to omega C1, so if you see over here in the analog domain, 0 to omega C1 is 0. So from here 0 to omega C1 is 0. Then omega C1 to omega C2, I have a high response. Here also I have a high response. And again omega C2 to higher frequencies is 0. Over here omega C2 to pi, it will be 0. Okay. The same thing will be replicated in the negative domain. Okay. So 0 to minus of omega C1 is 0. Then minus of omega C1 to minus of omega C2 is high. And then minus of omega C2 to pi, it is again 0. Right. So if you want to understand the pole 0 plot, how it may look like. I'm just giving you the responses based on a simplistic pole model. Okay. Say for example, I have a pole at positive region and a pole at negative region. Okay. Now it will be having its effect in this way. Omega C1, omega C2. This is minus omega C2 minus omega C1. Okay. So if you take it from minus pi to minus of omega C2 is 0. Pole is not having its effect. Then minus of omega C2 minus of omega C1. The pole is having its maximum effect. So it is having its maximum effect in this region. Then minus of omega C1 to omega C1. There is no effect of the pole. That means it is 0. We are considering that it is having no response in that region. And then omega C1 to omega C2, it is having a high response because of the upper pole. And then greater than omega C2, we are having 0 response. Right? So for the future examples, what we will be discussing, the understanding of these 4 digital filter frequency response of the digital filter is of utmost importance. Okay, anyone who is having any problem with this 4, please get it clear now itself, otherwise you will not be able to do the numericals later on. Okay, because understanding of this 4 type of this frequency response of this 4 type of filter, it is very important to determine the limits of the integration. Okay, so anyone who is having even a slightest of doubt? No one? Okay, good. So we move towards the first example, Fourier series method without using window. Okay, so how we do this? Let us first take a low pass filter. Okay, first what you have to do, you have to draw the frequency response of the filter. As soon as you get the question, just by looking at the question, you have to draw the frequency response. Okay, so we know that for our this thing, it is omega c to omega c, and then we have pi to pi, right? Now the second, once you have drawn this frequency response and you have identified what is omega c, and so you can place the values of minus of omega c and omega c into the frequency response, right? The next important thing is to calculate impulse response, which is given by Hn. Now what is an impulse response? Previously we have discussed that suppose we are having a LTI system. In the LTI system, if we give xn, we get y of n. Okay, and we have hz, which is the transfer function. Now if our xn is delta n, if our xn is delta n, then we get hn. By the way, what is delta n? Anyone who does not know what is delta n? What is this delta n called?
Impulse
Unit
response.
impulse.
Delta n is impulse response.
Dirac-Delta function.
Sir, unit impulse.
Yeah, unit impulse or simply
Unit impulse,
Impulse, sir.
impulse signal or unit impulse signal, whatever you call, both are correct. Okay, delta n is the unit impulse, input impulse signal, and hn is the impulse response. Hn is the impulse response. So unit impulse means at n equals to 0, we will be having an impulse input whose area is 1. Okay, and at all other time indices 0, 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3 time indices, we will be having a value of 0. So when we give this signal and we excite this signal, we get a series of numbers, okay, from the system, or which are basically the amplitude of the system, amplitude response of the system with response to the impulse, the unit impulse. Okay, so for FIR filter, we have previously discussed that the number of this H0, H1, H2 to Hn, so it is basically these impulse response values, they are finite. They are finite in nature. Okay, finite in number. Okay, so we have to identify or calculate these values from the frequency response of the ideal low pass filter. Okay, now how to find out? if you look into the IDTFT response or the equation, it is given by Hn is equal to 1 by 2 pi. So 1 by 2 pi integral of minus pi to pi h of omega e to the power j omega n d omega. Okay. However, if you remember the the frequency response of the low pass filter, what we are having frequency components which are passing through in the region of minus omega c to omega c, right? So we can replace this value, this pi and pi, with minus omega c to omega c, right? Definitely we can do that, because in the region of minus pi to minus omega c and omega c to pi, we are having zero response. So there is no meaning of going for the calculation of the values where the system response is zero. We will not get anything. Whatever we will be getting zero values. What this Hn is giving us? The Hn is basically giving us, anyone who can tell me what this Hn is giving us? What the Hn is giving us? What information it is giving us? Anyone? No?
Impulse response of the low pass filter, sir.
Impulse response of the low pass filter. यहाँ पे देख के बताओ क्या देगा? Impulse response, so that I can understand. So what does the physical meaning? That I already told you, that Hn is impulse response, right? So what it is giving? It is giving you the values, amplitude values in the
range of minus omega c to omega c.
Minus omega c to omega c. When we are talking
In the
about
frequency
minus
domain.
pi to pi, we know in this region we will be having zero values. So there is no fun in going for the integration within that region. So we will narrow our limit to minus omega c to omega c. Okay, that's why we have limited this thing. We are interested in the amplitude responses within this minus omega c to omega c region. Okay, once we have done that, we come to this equation. That is very good. But we discussed something in our last class. What is that? Did we discuss anything about FIR filter yesterday?
Sir,
We
all
discussed-
its poles are at origin.
Yeah, good. It is one of the things what we discussed. Anything else which we discussed? No? We discussed the magnitude of the system. It is considered to be 1. Okay? When it is considered to be 1, we can eliminate this from the equation, because it will be 1 multiplied by e to the power j omega n. So we can just eliminate this 1 also. So because it will give the same thing. So we are getting this equation, Hn equals to 1 by 2 pi integral of minus omega c to omega c e to the power j omega n d omega. Okay. Now when you have this thing, so from here, after you do the integration, you calculate the values of Hn. Okay. So how many Hn values you will be calculating? You will be calculating Hn values which will range from H0, H1, H2 up to H of capital N, to H of capital N, where capital N is the order of the filter, and length of the filter is given by capital N plus 1. Okay. Now, once you have done this, then we go to the next step, third step, calculate the Z transform of Hn. So how do you calculate? We have discussed that also previously. Hz, it's very simple. H0 plus H1 into Z to the power minus 1 plus H2 into Z to the power minus 2
Z2 minus 2
and
and so on.
Hn into Z to the power minus capital N, right? So now you have got the transfer function of the FIR filter, what you want to design. Then we have already discussed about the realization of the filter. One is direct method and the other is linear phase implementation, right? So you can find out. So this is the simplest method for designing the filters. Now if you have to just go for the designing of any other filter, what you have to do, you just have to look into or remember these frequency responses, whether it is a high pass filter or band reject filter or band pass filter. You just have to remember the frequency responses of these filters. You have to calculate this omega c the values, okay, and after you have calculated the omega c values, you come over here and in the second step you are given with the Hn, right? You are given with the Hn values. So what you do, you just calculate the limits and then you calculate the Hn, and after you calculate the Hn, you calculate the Z transform and then you go for the realization. Okay, so we will be taking up one examples in the next class, because we will not have sufficient time today. So what I will do is that I will discuss about the next method of FIR filter designing. The next method is Fourier series method using window. So just like in the first method, we have to draw the frequency response, okay, calculate the impulse response, okay. Once you have calculated the impulse response, then we have to calculate the window coefficients. So window coefficients, just like Hn, which varies from H0 to H of capital N, the window coefficients, they also varies from W0 to W of capital N. The length of Hn and Wn, they are same. The length of Hn and Wn are same. So in the next step, once you have calculated Hn and you have calculated Wn, you have to calculate H dash n, where you are having a multiplication of Hn and Wn, okay, where we are having a multiplication of Hn and Wn. That means if I have to calculate H dash 0, then it would be W0, or say H0 H of 0 multiplied by W of 0. If I have to calculate H dash 1, it would be H of 1 multiplied by W of 1, and H dash capital N, it would be Hn multiplied by Wn. Okay. Now once you have got the number, the rest of the method 5 and 6 steps, they are same. Calculate the Z transform of H dash n. Okay, just like this. If you see, we have calculated the Z transform of Hn and then we went for the realization. Here also we calculate the Z transform of the H dash n and then we go for the realization of the filter using H dash n. Okay. So this is about the Fourier series method using window. Now let's talk about the types of the windows. This chart, it is a very good chart and it is a concise chart basically, and I have got this chart from this digital signal processing by Sanjay Sharma. Okay, so there are various types of windows. The most important types of windows, they include rectangular window, Bartlett window, which is also called the triangular window, Blackman window, Hamming window, Hanning window. In the rectangular window, if you see the time domain sequence Wn, it varies from 0 to m minus 1. Now it is to be remembered over here, m over here is the length of the signal. Okay, so m minus 1, it is basically capital N. This m is basically what we were talking about, the length, capital L. So L minus 1 we have previously discussed. L minus 1 is capital N, which is basically the order of the signal component. Okay. So in the rectangular window, we have a value of 1 and its shape is something like this. Okay. In Bartlett window, it is 1 minus 2 of modulus of n minus of capital M minus 1 divided by 2 divided by m minus 1. Okay. Blackman window 0.42 minus 0.5 cos of 2 pi n divided by m minus 1 plus 0.8. Okay, so this is 0.5. Please, there is a misprinting. It is 0.5. Okay. Then Hamming window 0.54 minus of 0.46 cos of 2 pi n divided by m minus 1. Hanning window 1 by 2, 1 minus cos of 2 pi n by m minus 1. And lastly, there is another window which is called the Kaiser window, and it employs the empirical method for the FIR designing. Previously, I have already told you there is a Kaiser method to design FIR filters. So this is this one. So this is a separate type of window and which uses some empirical formula to calculate the window coefficients. So we will be taking this Kaiser window in a separate lecture. Okay. So for now we will be concentrating on windows 1 to 5, which are rectangular window, Bartlett window, Blackman window, Hamming window and Hanning window. Okay. In some books you will find that Hanning window, it is regarded as only Han window. Okay. So both Han window and Hanning window both are same. Okay. So these are the types of the different windows. And sorry, yeah. So if you look over here, Bartlett window, it gives you a rectangular shape. Okay. Blackman window, it is also regarded as cosine window. Okay. Here also, if you see, you are having a cosine function, but if you see, there is some offset in the Hamming window, and in the Hanning window it starts from 0 and it goes like this. So this is also a cosine. Okay. So these are different types of windows, and we will be discussing about this while we will do the numericals. With this, I will stop today over here, because otherwise, whatever the topic I will start, I will not be able to finish it today. Okay. So any questions till now?
So here M is corresponds to L.
M corresponds to L.
Okay.
M minus 1, it is basically capital N. Okay, the order of the filter. Right? Anything else you want to discuss? No? So we will disperse today.